Hopefully this one isn't too big. I think I let it get away from me, to be honest. And there goes the internet again. Oh, I want to kill this thing. I am so frustrated. Yeah, I am so tired of. I know I've been bringing that up over and over again, and I really apologize. But it's it's so frustrating. It really is. I mean, I'm trying so hard to do something good. Yeah, now I'm looking at. I have a screen that shows me a ping rate between myself, and I think I have it set to Google or even maybe Comcast. I think I have it set to Comcast just to be fair, to get the best ping. And it's going between 15 milliseconds. It'll be, good, and then it'll just timeout go 99999, which means that it's having trouble. So yeah, it's not. I mean, that indicates that the connection, it just continues to fluctuate. So okay, well, we got all our guys. Let's let the line out one more time. If we don't get anything this time, then we'll just I think we'll basically end the stream, because I am becoming a little too frustrated, a little too angry to really do a fair job at streaming. It just, it's so disheartening. I'm trying to. I'm not even I'm not even trying to stream to make money. I'm just streaming just to stream, just to share my experience, share my opinion on games, uh, tell people if a game is something you can play if you have if you have physical limitations. That's all. I'm not trying to become a partner, trying to get people to donate. I don't want people's money. I'm just doing this just to share, you know, my opinion of games. And I can't even keep ever since. Th- I'm sure this happened before I started streaming, but since I wasn't streaming, I didn't notice. So yeah, it's like every day I have an app on the phone that I can check my internet connection. And every day it's been saying, yes, it basically states that there's scheduled maintenance in my area. So, definitely something wrong. No, well, it looks like we're pulling some. Looks like we're capturing some fish. So yeah, we'll try to finish this out. Yeah, I'm sorry for being salty or whatever people call it these days. It's just that, like I've said, it's impossible for Comcast to have scheduled maintenance for 2.5 weeks. And then when you try to contact them, they act like, oh, well, everything's status quo, nothing to worry about. It shouldn't really be interfering with your internet. We're dealing with the TV portion of our service. Yeah. And then their favorite thing is we don't rent a modem from them. We own our own modem, so we don't pay them. I mean, we still pay them for internet, but we don't pay like a $5 to $6 rental. I think it is. It might be more by now, but we don't pay a rental on the modem, and I'm using a very high. I mean, it was like I forget exactly what model it is, but it was among the more expensive model of Motorola's that they even use themselves. And they keep saying, well, you know, you should use one of our modems to guarantee your connection and all that. It's like, I even offer, I said, well, I tell you what, I even asked, it's like, can you guys lend me a modem for a couple weeks? If my internet connection improves, then I'll concede the issue and I'll go ahead and rent, a modem from you permanently. And they agreed, but they never sent the modem out. They never had someone come out or anything. So, who knows? Okay, if I'm not mistaken, this should work even with these guys in their bunks, so to speak. So I need to, because all this, they have nothing to do with this. This is just pulling the net further out or sending it further out, bringing it further in. So, yeah. Well, okay, why isn't this working? That's strange, didn't want to work. Well, it seems to be. Okay, let me see. Wonder if I should drop. Wonder if I should put the line out just a little just a little further. I'd like to get it up to. What is the direction? Oh, actually, I should go the other way. thinking I'm just gonna start bringing in the line. And yeah, I think we'll bring this line in. And we'll see how. Yeah, we'll bring this line in, and then maybe go back to the main port where we can do our upgrades. Hello. Having internet problems as usual, worse than usual. And they keep saying it's scheduled maintenance, like they have for the last 2.5 weeks. So, yeah, I've been getting a little mad about that. How's your day been going? Hopefully better than mine. Nah, it doesn't help. All they do is, they say, oh, we're dealing with, you know, we're working on the TV portion of our service. It shouldn't affect the internet. They do anything to not admit that there's a problem with the service caused by them. So, yeah, but yeah, it just seems weird that this all started happening about the time I started streaming. Okay, almost ready to bring it in. But I've been recording this, so I've tried to start a new recording every hour or so. The last one I think I went like an hour and a half, so hopefully it's still small enough that I can put online. At least get it that way. Yeah, internet's rip again. Oh, God. Man. Yeah, stuck on postal on ISP. So hopefully, well, if nothing else, as I was saying earlier, I'll probably slow down or cut back on streams at the very least until I can at least see that the internet issues are getting better, or at the worst until we move. Maybe it's just this area. Hopefully it's not extended to the area that we're going to. Of course, come to think about it, that could be maybe they are having to do work for those new homes coming in, because they are further out from where we are. I believe we are between, right now, where we live right now, we're between the Comcast's main office and where the new homes are being built that we will be moving into. We're basically almost, you could almost take the map and draw a direct line. I mean, it's a little to the side, maybe a street or two, but the way that the wiring works, it's not always necessarily in a exact straight line. So that could be, if we're trying to make a case for Comcast, look at the other side of the situation, which I do try to do. It just, when you're upset, it's hard to do all the time. But if you're trying to look at both sides of a situation, that could be a relevant issue. They could be trying to set things up for that new development. Because, I think most people, when they first move in a new development, tend to go with Comcast or something less evasive than having someone mounting satellites to the side of their brand new, house. And plus, all these new houses are being wired to work basically so Comcast, it's so Comcast can come in and it's already pre-wired to the house. It's almost like Comcast, and I'm sure Time Warner does the same thing, but it's almost like they all had the same deal. You kind of have to wonder at times. It seems very convenient. So yeah, I guess you can make the argument that, they could potentially be doing that kind of work. So if that's the case, then, I'm more than, I guess I should be patient. If they're making it better for that, that's good. But it's just an issue of not trusting the company. I mean, they've lied to me so many times before. The customer service is not always the best. You can always tell the ones that read from scripts. And that's one thing I can't stand. I can't stand trying to communicate with someone that is reading from a script. and doesn't really understand what they're reading. Years ago, just to have them um, add a new modem, you know, all they basically need is a MAC address on the modem. So you try to explain it to them. It's like, listen, all I need to do is give you the MAC address to the modem. You enter that in, and we're golden. Everything will work. But no, it's like, no, that's not in our script. I mean, they don't say that, but they might as well say that. That's not part of our script. Sorry, we can't do that. I don't know how to do it that way. I've got to take you through 20 steps, and then I'll ask you for your MAC address, and we'll add it. So, yeah, I don't like dealing with tech support. More times than not, I know what the issues are. Um, and this one, at times, it seems like a node that could be out before we started receiving the maintenance notices. I was thinking that could be it, but yeah, it's. And I've talked to techs that come out. They're actually the ones that um, get paid more because they go through higher training. And I've talked to them. It's like we've had some good conversations. They can see I understand what's going on. I mean, I do have a degree in computer science. I know how to set up networks. I mean, so I do have a few guys' numbers that I can call instead of going through tech support, because I just told them it's so tiring. It's like, you know, you call them, they make you go through their script. So yeah, if you know much about computers, it's always best to just get to know a good tech, a few techs that actually come out to the houses, not just the ones that do the installation, the ones that actually go out and troubleshoot problems. You get to know a few of them, and you can usually call them if you treat them right. You know, they'll usually say, hey, we don't want you to, in my case, basically, hey, just call me if you have problems. Don't worry about tech support, because they understand. They understand where I was coming from when I told them that, all tech support does is read from a script. I mean, they can't deny it. They can try, but everyone knows that that's not the case. Okay, we got just about a full vote. I mean, we could probably try to get. We could probably go for one more round, but I think we're gonna. I guess we'll go back to the main port. So yeah, There's nothing to process on the boat anymore. You're not stacking. All the. It just seems kind of strange. All the training you've given these guys is going to waste, because you're basically. You're gonna cook a little bit. Make some of that cauliflower or whatever it is. But yeah, all that training that you give these guys, you would expect as you get a larger boat that um, that there's that their skills will be needed more and more as you go along. And it is somewhat disappointing to find out that no, after you get a big boat, they're basically all just uh, putting out nets, taking them back in. That's all they end up doing. So all that other training, it's so yeah, it is. It is a little disappointing to be honest, but it's it's a for the most part a well designed game. Uh, Definitely, it's very configurable. Let's see how much money you bring in. A lot of money that you wish was real. But yeah, there's no reason that everyone should be able to play this game with no problems. So regardless what sort of restrictions you might have, what devices you might, special equipment devices you might need to control things. Um, yeah, it should all work. Um, and that's what's good. And I'll try to get into some other games that might be more exciting. These, so far, what I've showed for the most part is are pretty laid back games. I do want to go through Car Mechanic Simulator 2018 since they did have a DLC come out yesterday. The DLCs, along with all the mods that the community has added to the games, really makes the game more interesting. I mean, some of the mods are a little out there. Um, you know, I think someone made an Indy car, for example, which you're not gonna really see an Indy car coming into a regular garage. I mean, so to me personally, it takes away from the realism of the game. Other people like that, so there's something for everyone out there. I'm more of a stock kind of person. I like to see cars that, if you're gonna work on a car, work on something that you see on the road, and not something that's this specialty car that you would never see in a regular workshop. I mean, an Indy car, those are very specialized race cars, and they're built, maintained. Everything is through a special garage. So, anyways, with that, we did meet our goal. Finally, we did get the 4th tier boat. Now we just have to pay off our debt, which is not going to be fun. That's a lot of debt. That said, with the amount of money we're bringing in, it shouldn't be difficult. My concern now, to be honest, my biggest concern for this game now is longevity as far as, how long is this game going to really be fun to play? And at this point, I mean, there is one last boat you can buy, but it seems more like a downgrade Actually, I should feel up and all that. The last boat seems more of a downgrade than an upgrade. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it has some. I mean, it looks like you might be able to. I don't know. You know what that kind of looks like? That looks like one of those whaling boats. The boats that they capture whales and they drag them up the back like that. I'm not sure how I feel about that, to be honest. But in the interest of reviewing the game fully, this will be our next target. So after we pay off the loan, we'll buy this and we'll see. Um, I don't think it does whale, to be honest. I think it just does these. But yeah, this is exactly the kind of boat you might see the whale. Japan is basically the only fleet, or the biggest fleet, I should say, that use boats somewhat like this um, to hunt and kill whales. They say they do it for research when they always have a big research on the side. But it's just interesting that so-called research ends up in the shops, the fish markets all around Japan. So that research really gets around. So I don't think that's what they'll be using it for, but yeah, that's really what this looks like. It looks like a whaling type ship or boat. So in the interest of the game, we will try that. It'll be interesting. I think this might be a little more realistic, whereas the net will pull the. I think the net will pull up the back of this the way it looks. So that might be a little more realistic. I don't know, but we'll move forward with this. At least we get one more boat out of gameplay before it just becomes too just stale. And I guess you can make the argument about any game. Almost all games, to a point, become just doing repetitious. It becomes so repetitious. I That's just not my style. I know my wife, she has some games that she's played for a number of years that you do the same thing over and over, and she still enjoys them. So hey, I understand different people enjoy different types of games. I just like to keep it new and refreshing myself. So we'll probably look at Car Mechanics Simulator 2018 at one point, and we might go back to some of the older shooter games, which a lot of them have really good graphics. I mean, just imagine if you took the graphics of some of those games and applied those graphics to some of these smaller games, even Space Engineers. If you took the newer shooter games, I can't think of the name of it right now. I'll be playing it later on this week probably. But the graphics are unreal. If you could take those graphics and apply them to games like like Space Station or Space Engineer, whatever, I mean, it would be so unreal. I mean, it would be. of course, games like that are so complex, so maybe most computers wouldn't be able to run them. So, anyways, that's another story for another time. So, we have been playing. What have we been playing? No, just kidding. We've been playing Fishing Barents Sea, not to be confused with Barents Sea Gold. Different seas, obviously. Um, and yeah, it's a fun game. It'll be interesting to see if I'll make my required 50 cents per hour out of gameplay, which I'll remind people again, I haven't said this in a while. For a game to be valuable, in my opinion, you have to get at least 50 cents per hour of gameplay. So if a game costs $50, you need to get 100 hours of gameplay out of that game before it becomes a game that was worth the money. Um, Sometimes you can push that maybe to 25 cents. If you get 25 cents an hour of gameplay from a game, I think you're doing outstanding. But some people say $1. I think 50 cents an hour is a fair assessment. So we'll see if we make that 50 cents an hour on this. For all I know, I might have already passed that up. I will definitely let you know next time we play this game. So until then, thanks for joining me. Look forward to many more games in the future. Have a good day. Be kind to each other. And God bless. Goodbye.